All right, so today I want to explain to you what is the key. The key starts out as the acronym, Know Every You. We must know who we are, what we want, and why we are here. When found, the answer to each of these three questions turns out to be the same answer. When one finds their purpose in life, it becomes who they are, all they want, and why they're here. But that's just the beginning. To know every you essentially means to know existence as a human being, and perhaps even deeper, to know all, to be one with everything that you can sense. But let's back it up a bit and start from the beginning. What does it mean to know every you? To know every you means to know your true self, your core, your purpose for being alive. When we are born, we are as close to it as most will ever get. Now there are studies which show that our personalities are about 50% in place at the day of birth. So even from before day one in the world, our minds were being influenced by our mother's thoughts. You see, human beings are very dependent on each other for survival. We, for many reasons, seek the approval of others, and in doing so, tend to adopt the belief systems of the environment in which we were born and or raised. From this very same need for approval, love, and connection, we often tend to build different characters or personalities which we switch in and out of dozens of times per day. We become master mask makers and put on different masks which are designed to achieve the most pleasurable outcome possible for us. In the course of a single day, one person may have to be a father, a husband, a son, a brother, a doctor, a patient, a friend, a lover, a teacher, a student, etc. So as you can see, we have a serious problem here. First of all, we are designed to absorb and use information received by the environment, but we are unable at young ages to decide whether it is good information or not because it is the only information available and we have no other references. So we grow up and adopt a story of a self and a culture and call it our identity, which means that we are starting out blindfolded. Then, with the blindfold on, we try to attach ourselves to other blindfolded people because it is much easier to be blindfolded and lost together than alone in the dark. And to make things worse, we live in a very negative environment. So we're mostly walking around blindfolded and pessimistic or anxiety-ridden. Maybe not on the surface, but deep down there is a very influential voice which tells us of things which somehow we can't tune out. This is why when we come up with a really great idea, we usually don't have enough vision to see if it's good or not, so we test it out on other people and share it. And most of the time it gets ridiculed, and eventually we begin to forego the presentation to our environment and turn down our own ideas just after they pop up. So sad. Just to add one more piece to the puzzle, the leading minds in both science and spirituality are coming to an agreement that thought is what creates reality. Your thoughts are creating your life. So how's your life? We must untangle this massive knot which the world around us helped us tangle ourselves into. There are a lot of people who love to untangle knots and solve puzzles, myself included, but it becomes very difficult to untangle a knot when you are the knot. In order to untangle the knot effectively, quickly, and painlessly, we must get to know how it got tangled in the first place. And fortunately, as a human knot, we have minds which can remember. And when you learn the common denominators of human behavior, you'll be able to use your memory to help you untie yourself from your knot, take off your blindfold, and separate from the sleepwalkers and grow like a tree rising up out of the bushes. So the key is to know every you. The key is to take a mental inventory and go back and figure out how you wrote your story so that you can change your story if you want to. It's all up to you. It's the power of your thoughts, guys. And that's what I teach. Life coach, mind coach, psychology coach, whatever you want to call it. We create our lives with our minds. And in order to change our lives, we have to change our minds. So the key, know every you, the key to life is to know your mind, to master your mind. If you're not in control of your mind, somebody else is. Stay tuned.